You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
Hello, it's Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I am Kyle McMahon, and it is episode number 32, and I just want to get right into it because you know that I love Harry Potter. And therefore, I love Rupert Grint, who is Ron Weasley, one of the main four of Harry Potter. And, you know, I love Apple. And, you know, I love M. Night Shyamalan. So, the fact that Apple has released a series called Servant from M. Night Shyamalan, starring Rupert Grint, is like a triple whammy dream come true for me. I interviewed the entire cast, including Rupert and Toby Kebbell, you know, from, a million movies, Kong, and a whole host of movies. Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet Under, and Nell Carter from Game of Thrones, and creator, writer, executive producer, Tony Basgallop. So I can't tell you how excited I am. I recorded this last month, and I couldn't release it until this week, so I've been dying for you to hear it. So in any event, it's a little bit loud because, just where we were doing the interview, it was insanely loud. So, but, you can still hear it all. I just wanted, it's not our normal, quality. But it's Rupert Grint, so, we deal with it. All right, here it is. I start out with Toby and Lauren, and then go to the other three. Here you go. How exciting is it for you as actors, to work on something with M. Night and such a special show for Apple TV Plus, and just tell me about that.
That's a good question, because the experience, it was very reminiscent. It reminded me of a lot of joy from working on that project. And then I was like, oh, what's that to do with? How was that? And then you realize it's actually a mix of a lot of episodes. I think they're releasing 3 on the 28th. So, and then it will be weekly after that. So you can binge and then starve. Like Thanksgiving. Exactly.
Yeah.
So as actors, what is the advantage of a series, over doing it through hour-and-a-half movie?
It's a good question. It's tricky. I mean, they're
they
all
have
such
longer
different
time
disciplines.
to explore the character in television.
Yeah. That's the nice thing. Actually, what we're looking forward to is usually you have 11 contracts and you're like, why? I'm tied to this forever. But it's such a joy to think, I could really fathom who this individual is. Because
right.
I thought I had him. We shot 3 episodes and I was like, I don't know everything about this person. Just keep discovering. I think with theatre, I have that feeling sometimes. Because you replay it, it's a full performance every night, and you replay it, and you learn more and more and more, I find. Mm-hmm. But with film and television, usually it's very brief and very rushed, and you've got to get it, and you've got a chance.
And this did not have that, the rush of where they're cranking out the scripts, and you're getting the changes 2 minutes before you shoot, and that kind of thing, which often happens in television. This was all felt very considered, and we all had time to do our work. All the departments had time to do their work. Night and Apple created the space for that and created an environment of really creative exploration where, here's this family surviving barely this trauma and this in crisis, and we got to in this one location. And so as actors, we got to play. We got to do long takes, Mikey G is our DP, and he did all kinds of beautiful storytelling with the camera. And there was just time for everyone to do their work. Every designer had their moment. Every choice is deeply considered. And that's what you get with Night being this master of the genre. And he creates the environment for creativity,
That felt very filmed, didn't it? It felt like, not that they did necessarily have an abundance in the budget, but they had the details, and because it was a small cast and at one location, they put everything into it. So that house was it is spectacular. And we have a street. The house is split, so we have all these different sets that make up a street that we can then go on where it rains and the wind blows.
It's the most spectacular built set I have ever seen.
Beautifully crafted.
I can't even imagine. I mean, it rains in the building and the construction. It's like dovetailed, you know.
Yeah.
They
they really did. Lamb's tail on the lamb's tongue on the windows. Everything. It's a beautiful home. Like a specimen, an Architectural Digest specimen, and we're just getting to trash it with our acting.
So will we get to know, like, you know, how your marriage evolved in the show? You know, how it progressed and how it got to this point.
You'll get a sense of them.
Yeah, you'll see a growth.
You'll get a sense
for
of
sure. But also, it's that where do you grow from that trauma? You know, so there's a growth in that. Yes.
So you guys have, you know, been working on...
This isn't distracting
at
all.
I'm so sorry. Is that okay?
I know. I'm like, oh my God, it's up my nose. It's in my eye. What is happening?
It's totally fine. Yeah, did you get your free subscription?
Yeah, I did, actually. I did. I cannot wait. I got the Pro Max. So you guys have been working on this for a while. How does it feel that in just, you know, a few weeks, you're going to be able to unleash this to, you know, billions potentially of people, you know, with Apple.
It's a very special time. It's you know, this is literally the first time we're talking about this piece. We were off in Philadelphia making our little art project, and you know, and it's Nate does everything in Philly, and it has the terroir of Philadelphia from Sean's cooking and the streets and the, you know, and even just all the crew is local. They're all his guys and the girls who work on that with him all the time. So we made our little art project, and now here we get to finally talk about it, and even us, we get to see how it's being put out into the world. It feels like a very special time before anybody sees it, and so I don't know, I'm excited for people to see our work. I feel proud of what we were up to. I feel curious about how all the episodes will ultimately come together. I feel like in as an actor, much more so than usual in this genre, and working with Knight, I really can only do my part, and he and you know the like I said, like the photography, the music, the lighting, how it's edited, and the choices are going to shape the story so much more than my performance might otherwise.
Right.
And especially for me, I was literally I came out of doing playing Eliza Doolittle and My Fair Lady, where it's like, you know, farm to table, like you give it right to the audience. So this is even more so than usual, where they take your work and edit it. I think this will be even more somebody else's piece than mine. So, but for me, it's fun to just see everybody's beautiful work. I mean, that's what's
and come together.
It's incredible, and honestly, that's what I love about this job is it's just, and this was such an example of it being the most collaborative art form.
Yeah, right.
You need each other, and that was cool about this set, is that every department was valued, and I think it made for a very nice working experience.
Yeah, and it makes you a fan. I became a fan of it. I now want to know, because we don't really know, and we might not be involved in certain episodes, and we wonder how that, you know what I mean? So
how it all comes together.
I want to see how it all comes together, and I want to go back to work. I want to continue this story because I want to see where it goes. It's just like a good book.
Awesome.
And it's an exploration of what is reality, what is the difference between perception and reality. And so for us, you know, your character is living one reality, and then Knight has created this whole other world that's going on underneath and around you that as the actor you're not necessarily. You know, I just showed my kid The Sixth Sense the other day.
Oh, wow.
He's finally old enough to watch it, and so we watched it, and I thought, oh, you know, here's like Tony Collette, so beautiful, so real, and the world around her is shifting and so off.
Yeah.
And so we can do our work and be real. So it's so great to see how it ultimately congeals. Chatty Catty here.
So with the master that is M. Night, we always, you never really know that what you're seeing is what's happening. Is that, is that how this is?
Right. It's a matter of like questioning what you're seeing.
Precisely. Like with supernatural things, we can both see a curtain move, and if you're convinced that something moved it, you're convinced of that. It's the supernatural. It happens to us in reality, and whatever your perception is what you see it to be. So yeah, it can absolutely be that one perception is not necessarily the shared perception.
That there's a supernatural explanation and sort of the world of matter explanation for any phenomena that happen.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Isn't that awesome? I loved talking to them. I mean, they're just, this show is so amazing. So next, I talked to Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley himself, and Nell Tiger Free, who was in Game of Thrones, as you all know, and creator, writer, executive producer, Tony Basgallop. Tony Basgallop is, incredible. So anyway, enjoy my interview with them. So, Tony, I'll start with you. What is your, as the creator, tell me about Servant.
Yeah, well, look, it's a story about a family who have had a infant son, and there's been a tragedy and there's been a loss in this family, and they're trying to rebuild that. And one of the methods they use to try and get over this loss is the introduction of a reborn doll, which is one of these very, very lifelike looking dolls that cost you something in the region like $6,000 to $10,000 each. But yeah, they've introduced a reborn doll in order to get over the grief, but it hasn't worked. And Dorothy, the mother of the infant, is in a position where she hires a nanny to look after the doll when she returns to work, because she's living in this deluded state. So it's an emotional conceit to the show, but once Leanne as a character enters into this house, all manner of oddities occur, and it's her presence in the house that triggers everything that follows. The family that should be healing and repairing is now in a position where they're kind of looking to the stranger, the cuckoo in the nest, so to speak.
Awesome, thank you. So, Nell and Rupert, can you tell me how you two play into the story?
Yeah, so I play the nanny that Tony mentioned, Leanne, sort of the newbie in the house. And it's sort of about how I sort of come in, and then after that is where all the conflict begins. So it's sort of the catalyst in the drama in the house, I'd say. Not that there wasn't drama before I got there, but so I'm sort of a mysterious character that you spend the season trying to figure out who or what she really is.
I play Julian, who is Dorothy's slightly younger brother. He is also Sean's kind of only ally and kind of confidant within the kind of crisis and trauma. He's this quite bullish, brash guy, and he's also kind of enabling Dorothy's kind of delusion about love. He's an interesting guy because he's kind of floating between two kind of realities, and it's a lot of fun.
So, as we know it to start, Tony, are these two characters doing it to help her, or their ulterior motives, or is it to help?
No, they are. But they're both doing it for love. They both love Dorothy as a husband and a brother, and they believe they're doing the right thing. I think that's kind of one of the interesting things in Greek. There is no right thing that you can do. So whatever you do is your best effort. And certainly Julian and Sean are making a best effort to fix Dorothy. offering her anything she wants. And this is a family of privilege, and they're not used to having these type of problems. They're used to being able to solve everything that comes their way, in a sense. And so, yeah, and I always looked at Julian as kind of like the devil on Sean's shoulder, the person that's kind of always been pushing him towards the darker choices we make in life. So having Rupert in that role is just such a dream. It's just...
Tony, you said last night that you envision this as a 60-episode series. Do you have all 60 episodes written yet?
No, I really don't, because I feel like I kind of know where they're going as human beings. I think when you start writing a story, you have to have the end point in mind. You can change that end point at any time, and I reserve the right. I couldn't sit here and tell you what season 4 is, because when I get to season 4, I'll have so many better ideas than what I've got now. Because what you learn as you go along, it's that final point of where you want the characters to end emotionally and physically. Are they going to be together? Are they going to solve this problem? Is there a happy ending, or is there something that's going to, you're going to pull away a curtain and reveal it was all something else all along? Those answers are in my head.
So is it just the 4 characters throughout the 60 episodes?
There's there's more. The cast gradually expands. We're going to meet Dorothy and Julian's father later on in the season. So, there are family members and friends that will come and go, and that's quite exciting. I feel like we've got the main 4, the central family, and everything that props them up.
So Nell and Rupert, are you surprised as actors at how the story is coming together, now that you're finding it out through editing and screeners and all? Are you surprised at how it's fitting together?
I don't think that you can expect anything with this show at all. Do you mean how it was executed, or like the storyline?
Well, yeah, the storyline, how everything's coming together for the first season.
Well, storyline-wise, we were given the first 8 episodes, and so we knew what was coming in that retrospect. Yeah, but with the whole vision of the show, I think it exceeded my expectations. Absolutely, I think it turned into something so. From what I've seen. It looks fantastic, I think, and I just think that you're so lucky as an actor if you go into something thinking it's going to be great, and then you see it and it looks even better.
Even better,
so,
right?
I don't know how I did, but I think it looks amazing.
And how about for you, Rupert?
Yeah, it's funny. Especially when you're in it, I don't really think about
How it's
going to turn out. I'm just kind of just in it, I guess. But I'm not very good at watching myself, so I've seen the first one. It's amazing. It's amazing. It was such a unique experience making it. I've never been on a set like it. Really. Having it all in this one place and never leave this house. It was a really unique thing. It was very fun.
And it's got to be really exciting for all of you to be at the forefront of something so big. Apple TV Plus, and M. Night show on Apple TV Plus. This is, potential of billions of devices that Servant will be on.
Yeah. When we took this show out to pitch to, potential buyers, Apple kind of rose up above the crowd and were so supportive and so interested in what we were doing and how we wanted to do it. And, we found from day one they've really backed us all the way, and they've allowed us to take risks, because it's a risky story to take. It's not one of these huge fantasy worlds that we've created. It's a very small and intimate reality that we're dealing with, and they've allowed us to do what we want to do, and to kind of push things as far as we want to. And that was the reason of going with them. They promised us that, and they didn't let us down. You guys know, there was no kind of studio exec sitting on our shoulders at any point threatening to take the money away. They jumped in and they backed us. So
Which seems like the best kind of thing.
Oh my God, if you get that, yeah. Just cross your fingers and hope it happens every time.
Right.
It means so much when you're doing this.
And how about the title of the show, Servant? Is there any insight behind that yet that you can let us know?
it will kind of become obvious as the show goes on, but it centers around our antagonist.
Awesome. Tony Basgallop, Nell Tiger Free, Rupert Grint, thank you guys so much for talking with me. I cannot wait for Servant to be unleashed upon the world. I cannot wait to see what happens. Thank you for talking with me.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. Very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So there is my interview with Rupert Grint, Harry Potter. Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. And then, of course, Tony and Nell. I mean, they just an incredibly creative group of people. And, you know, I can't say enough about Servant. It is streaming. The first 3 episodes are dropped today, Thanksgiving, depending on when you're listening. And then it's weekly from there. It's already been renewed for season 2. So that's how confident Apple is in this. And the reviews have been awesome. I saw a screener. Incredible. I can't wait to see everything else. In any event, I'll see you next week on Pop Culture Weekly.
You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
Ronald Weasley.